Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a world lost to time, a world where humanity's first steps were shadowed by giants. Imagine a lush primeval jungle, teeming with life, but also with dangers that defy belief. In this world, early humans didn't just fight for survival against the elements, they fought against creatures ripped from our wildest nightmares. Our story begins with a small tribe, the Skyfire people, nestled in a valley that had been their home for generations. But the earth is a restless beast. The ground trembles, the mountains spew ash, and the jungle that once provided for them is slowly turning into a barren wasteland. The air grows thick, the plants wither, and the once abundant prey flees. Their shaman, an old woman named Alara, reads the signs in the smoke and the stars. They must move or they will perish. Their only hope lies across the great river, a massive churning waterway that separates their dying lands from the verdant paradise whispered about in their legends, the Sunken Valley. The journey to the river is a harrowing ordeal in itself. The tribe, led by a young, determined hunter named Kale, navigates through treacherous terrain. They are stalked by packs of cunning raptors, their screeches echoing through the petrified trees. They have to be silent, moving like ghosts through the undergrowth, their every step a gamble. One wrong move, one snapped twig, and they could become a meal for the relentless predators. At night, they huddle together, the small flames of their torches keeping the darkness and its unseen horrors at bay. They lose members along the way, to sickness, to exhaustion, and to the ever-watchful eyes of carnivores. Each loss is a heavy blow, but it only hardens Kale's resolve. He carries the weight of his people's future on his shoulders, his gaze fixed on the horizon, towards the promise of the river and the new life beyond. Finally, after weeks of travel, they hear it, the thunderous roar of rushing water. They've made it. But as they stand on the muddy banks, a new, more profound fear grips them. This isn't just a river, it's a kingdom, and its king is a monster of legend. The Great River is a domain ruled by a creature so terrifying, it's spoken of only in whispers, the Spinosaurus. This isn't the dinosaur we know from books. It's a living, breathing titan, an apex predator perfectly adapted to this aquatic world. Longer than any T-Rex, with a massive sail on its back that cuts through the water like a shark's fin, and a crocodile-like snout filled with conical teeth, it is the undisputed master of the river. The tribe watches from the concealment of the ferns as the beast patrols its territory. They see it snatch a 10-foot fish from the water with lightning speed. They see it effortlessly overturn a rival Sarcosuchus, a giant crocodile, in a brutal display of power. Its roar is a guttural, bone-chilling sound that vibrates through the ground. The river is its fortress, and nothing crosses without its permission. The tribe's hope turns to despair. The dying jungle behind them is a slow death. But the river promises a quick and violent one. The elders debate their options. Some argue they should turn back to try and find another path, no matter how slim the chance. They fear the Spinosaurus, believing it to be a wrathful river god that cannot be defied. But Kale knows there is no other way. The land behind them is a tomb. He argues that they must face their fear, that their ancestors didn't survive by running, but by outsmarting the beasts that hunted them. He looks at the children, their faces thin and their eyes wide with hunger, and knows they don't have time for another long journey. Alara, the shaman, agrees. She has been observing the beast, not as a god but as an animal. It has patterns, it has a routine, it hunts, it rests, it patrols. It is intelligent, yes, but it is also predictable. The seed of a plan begins to form. They cannot fight it, so they must trick it. Their survival depends not on their spears, but on their minds. The plan is audacious and fraught with peril. Kyle and a few of the bravest hunters will create a diversion. They spend days gathering the last of their resources. They build small, crude rafts, not to carry people, but to carry bait. They find the carcass of a large herbivore that had fallen near the riverbank. The smell, they hope, will be irresistible. Meanwhile, the rest of the tribe, under Alara's guidance, works frantically to construct larger, sturdier rafts, weaving together thick logs and vines, their hands raw and their bodies aching. They work in near silence, their fear a constant, suffocating presence. Every splash in the river, every distant roar, sends a wave of panic through the camp. They know that the slightest mistake could draw the attention of the River King and doom them all. The tension is almost unbearable, a silent countdown to a life-or-death confrontation. The night of the crossing arrives. The twin moons cast an eerie silver light over the water. The air is still, heavy with anticipation. Kale and his hunters push the bait rafts into a current downstream, far from their chosen crossing point. Then, they begin their part of the performance. They shout, they beat their spears against rocks, they light torches and wave them wildly, creating a commotion designed to attract the apex predator. They are deliberately making themselves targets. It's a terrifying gamble. They wait, their hearts pounding in their chests. And then, they see it. A shadow detaches from the far bank. The massive sail slices through the dark water, heading directly for the noise and the scent of blood. The diversion is working. The Spinosaurus, drawn by the promise of an easy meal, leaves its primary territory unguarded. As the monster's angry roars echo from downstream, Alara gives the signal. It's now or never. The tribe members, their faces grim, push their rafts into the water. The mothers clutch their children, whispering reassurances they don't feel themselves. The crossing is agonizingly slow. The current is strong, and their paddles are crude. Every dip of the oar feels thunderously loud in the quiet of the night. They strain their ears listening for the sounds of the returning predator. They are exposed, vulnerable, a tiny flotilla of hope on a sea of danger. They are only halfway across when a deafening roar, much closer this time, splits the night. The Spinosaurus has realized the deception. The bait was a trick. And now, it's angry. It's coming back. Panic erupts. The people paddle furiously, their movements becoming sloppy and panicked. The rafts begin to separate. From the darkness the sail appears, cutting through the water at an impossible speed. It's not just swimming. It's hunting. The Spinosaurus crashes into the last raft in the group, splintering the logs with a single snap of its powerful jaws. Screams fill the air as people are thrown into the cold, dark water. Kyle, who had circled back after the diversion, watches in horror. He knows he can't fight it, but he can't let his people die. He grabs his spear, not to wound the beast, but to distract it again. He bangs it against the side of his own small raft, yelling, trying to draw the creature's attention to himself, to buy the other's precious seconds. The Spinosaurus turns its massive head, its reptilian eyes glowing faintly in the moonlight, fixing on Kale. It lets out another furious roar and begins to move towards him, seeing him as the true source of its irritation. This is it. Kale prepares for the end. But just as the beast closes in, a volley of flaming arrows streaks through the night sky. Alara and the other elders, standing on the far bank they just reached, are firing their bows. The arrows are small, they can't pierce its thick hide, but the fire is something new. The Spinosaurus, a creature of water, hesitates, confused and annoyed by the small, stinging flames that fizzle out on its wet skin. It's a brief pause, but it's all Kale needs. He paddles with all his might, and the current, finally, catches his raft and pulls him towards the safety of the new shore. He scrambles onto the bank, joining his people, and they watch as the frustrated Spinosaurus lets out one final world-shaking roar before disappearing back into the depths of its river kingdom. They made it. Exhausted, terrified, and fewer in number, but they made it. They stand on the edge of the sunken valley, a land of lush green, a land of promise. They look back across the river, at the dark, dying jungle they left behind. They face the river god, the ultimate predator, and through courage, ingenuity, and sacrifice, they survived. Their journey is far from over. This new world will have its own challenges, its own giants to conquer. But they have proven to themselves and to the world that even in an age of monsters, humanity's spirit is the most formidable force of all. Their will to survive, to build, to dream of a better tomorrow, is a fire that can never be extinguished. Thank you so much for watching this epic tale of survival. It's a reminder that our own history, while maybe not filled with dinosaurs, was a constant struggle. If you enjoyed this story, please hit that like button and be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next adventure. Let us know in the comments what kind of prehistoric stories you'd like to see next. Until then, stay curious.